Hey guys, this is Hannah Lee with LRT Sports, and today we're here with Jashon Cornell, a graduate of OSU who was recently drafted to the Detroit Lions as the 10th defensive tackle. So Jashon, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start off, one of our first questions for you is, what are some of the challenges that you faced when you were in the process of getting drafted?
Um, One challenge that I faced during the process was the whole coronavirus thing because it stopped my ability to go into gyms and work out, and then I didn't go to combine, so I was looking forward to going to having a pro day, and my pro day got canceled. So you pretty much had to get unique in ways to find out different types of ways to work out and stuff. And I started running up this hill, and this hill I recorded myself working out on it one day, and then my agent posted it, and got 180K views on Twitter, and then that's what really helped me in this process because I didn't have a pro day like most people or go to combine, so no coach really knew who I was. They never seen me in person or anything, so that's a big one for me.
So just like overcoming kind of the pandemic and
Yes,
finding ways to work through it.
exactly.
Yeah. Our next one for you is, what is the best piece of advice that a coach has given you, and who was that coach?
Um, I think one thing that Coach Johnson from Ohio State, my defensive line coach, was always said it was if you just sit at the edge of like a top of a mountain and just like free fall, and just let your coach guide you into a path where he can see you. That's one thing. I think that's one good advice that you can take because you're always going to have different coaches, and different coaches have different teaching styles and stuff. And I think you just have to be at the edge of the wall, like the edge of the mountain, and just fall off and let the coach guide you. And I think that's one thing where coaches love players because they're taking their advice and they're just falling all in for the process and what he wants to teach and stuff.
Yeah, so being coachable for sure is one of the biggest attributes.
Yeah.
The next one is, what is the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome as a college athlete, and how did you overcome it?
I think one challenge that, especially being at OSU, is having time management. You have a lot of friends that are who aren't athletes, and being able to split your time up before football, school, and then practice again, and then hanging out with your friends, and then still doing your homework and getting your U time. And then I think that's one thing that I really struggle with sometimes was like trying to make everybody happy. Like
Mm-hmm.
I try to take care of all my football and school stuff before I hung out with my friends. And I think sometimes when I did too much, I was doing too much work and not being able to hang with my friends started to get mad at me because I would never come hang out. So I think that's just one thing that you really have to understand is your time management and thing. Just pretty much being able to do everything that's important to you in a short amount of time.
Awesome. I know a ton of athletes struggle with that, so you realizing that and kind of figuring it out early is good.
Yeah.
The next one is, what are the three most important characteristics of being a great leader?
I think one thing is I think about me being a leader, I lead by example. I don't say much, but when I'm on the field, I'm gonna when I'm at practice or when I'm on. And again, I'm gonna go to work. I'm not gonna take no plays off or anything like that. I think that's one thing you can do as a leader is if you're gonna tell somebody you're gonna do this and do that, show it. Don't just be like I'm gonna do this. I always talk about your past accomplishments. You can always build on yourself, and to become a leader, I think you just have to consistently show that you're always doing the right things all the time. And I think you can just, I don't think yelling at people and cussing at people are the way to go to be a leader. I think if you just talk to people and guide them, that's another thing.
That's definitely something I look for in a leader as well. Next one is, what is some advice that you can give to upcoming athletes as far as training in the off season is concerned, and what should they be doing to separate themselves from others?
I think one thing that a lot of people are doing is just taking days off because oh, I don't have these to do this or that or something. But I think one thing that athletes have to understand is that you have to find a way each day to motivate yourself to go work out. These are times where you really find out if you really love the sport or not, or if you really love the sport or not, because there's people out there all around the country working out every day, and there's some people out there that's not working out at all, and there's some people just taking day by day. But I feel like to be at the top of your game and to be ready for like when the season comes. I feel like you have to take every day like it's your last day because you just don't know what's going to happen with everything. So I feel like if you keep grinding each day and putting your all into every day, then and finding a way to figure it out how to do a workout, then I think you're in the right track.
And I definitely think with everything going on too, that's been very enlightening for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What is some advice that you can give to athletes to stay motivated when things are not going their way?
I think I'm an example of it, especially me coming out of high school. I was a 5-star recruit, 4-star recruit, and going to Ohio State. I come in as a freshman thinking I'm going to play, and then I get redshirted. So you get humbled. You get humbled real quick, and I think you just have to realize like the understanding of patience. I think that's one thing that I did when I got like frustrated because going into my sophomore year, coming out of spring ball, I was starting, but that whole spring ball I had a hernia, so I had to have surgery. So that I missed majority of the off season, so I wasn't able to train to get ready for my sophomore season. And coming out of spring ball, I was starting, and then I got hurt, and then just trying to overcome injuries and stuff. So I think my big thing about understanding was just having patience, and I think God is always going to lead you in the path of success. He's never going to I didn't like on draft day. I didn't think I was going to get drafted. How late the round was going, and I got the call. And I'm just like, dang, I didn't have a pro day. I didn't have a combine. Coaches didn't see me. It's all on film. I think it's like this past senior year, it was like the best year because I was able to overcome everything I did in the past, and me just being patient and trying to just lead on the field. I think that really helps you a lot if you have a understanding of patience.
That's amazing. I think that's totally perfect for a ton of athletes. The next one is, these are more geared towards recruits. So the first one is, why the Ohio State University over other universities you were looking at?
I didn't pick Ohio State for Ohio State. I picked Ohio State because they had Coach Johnson. I think my position coach he sold me on everything. I can play for one of the best defensive line coaches in America and compete for a national championship every year. And on top of that, get some of the best academics in the world. And I was just sold because I was able to go to school and then have friends who were outside of football and then still be successful in football and school and then having an actual social life.
So really just like finding the perfect coach, and then everything else kind of fell into place.
Exactly.
Perfect. The next one is, how can players who are not top recruits get on a coach's radar?
I think going to camps actually helps some players if they're not getting recruited that much. You gotta be. One thing I do is call the school or call the office all the time. Try to get in contact with the coach. Emails. Just do everything possible to just put yourself out there and get film to them. Show them that you're not all talking. You're not a little guy or something like that. Show them that you're able to compete at a high level. Because some schools will take a chance on you because there's been players out there who've overcome that, and you can be a story for their team. So, I don't know. It's a tough one.
No, that's perfect. I think definitely like kind of like marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Getting your name out there. So the next one is, what 2 training techniques should athletes never forget to have in their regimens, and the 2 most important ones? So this one is kind of like your diet, if you should be going to do rehab, any like special treatment or training, anything like that that's worked for you.
I think one thing that always helps me is like staying in the training room and doing different things to keep your body at its best. Like do everything that's recovery possible. And I think that's one thing that helped me this past year. Like the whole year, my body felt great because of all the recovery things I was doing in the training room. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of the most important things to do. To never give up is being able to recover your body at all times.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Next one is, what piece of advice would you give to college or high school athletes who are looking to get recruited by their dream school? If you
go to the camps.
Okay.
Go to the school football camps and pretty much go to every single one that you can go to, and the coach will remember you. All coaches do. Like, didn't we just see that kid at the last camp? That's what the coaches say. And they're like, what's his name on the thing, and you can probably get started like that.
Perfect. Next one is social media is a huge part of everyone's life. So how can athletes use social media to their advantage when getting recruited?
Um, if you have a great Instagram, that'll help you a lot. So I was like, I think going on Instagram Live when you're working out or doing something cool helps. It's just get your audience up, posting like highlight tapes to yourself and just different cool things like that. Especially with social media now, there's everybody's posting like different things. Just be unique, and sometimes you can copy somebody else and make yours better. But
And I think for you, like that was very apparent too, because you had the video of you like sprinting up the hill, and then
yeah, everybody else copy me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. The next one is, what are the 3 most important characteristics of being a great teammate?
Always being there for a teammate, like no matter the night, the day, the morning. If a teammate calls you, always pick up because you just never know the type of situation they're in or if they need help or anything. So this is just being a good friend, they're not just your teammate; they're like a brother to you or a sister to you. So I think it's just like protecting your house, pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like your teammates like family, so just take care of them, take care of you.
Nice.
And being a teammate. I think that says it all, kind of.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you're taking care of them and stuff. Yeah.
And even when like they're annoying you, like they're still your teammate, they're still like your brother, so you gotta
Yeah.
pick them up.
Exactly.
And I kind of already explained to you what LRT Sports does. So do you think that LRT Sports would have been a good resource for you when you were going through the recruiting process as far as looking at ratings and reviews on other head coaches?
Yeah, of course, because you can find a lot about who a coach is, especially with it, because you're able to see if people like them, if teammates or players didn't like them, the coaching styles that they have and what they do. So I think it's a great resource.
Awesome. And then, so these last 4 ones are going to be a little more fun for you, to just kind of get your personality out there. So the first one is, what is the craziest thing you've seen a parent do during a game? If you're like paying attention to the parents, unless you're really locked in.
The parent like grabbed. I think one of the parents grabbed Brutus and was trying to get on the TV for the storm the field for Penn State game. And I think I saw a parent like with Brutus and like snatching him and trying to get him in the video camera.
Awesome. The second one is, what is your go-to meal before a game?
I usually don't eat before games.
You don't eat it at all?
No. Yeah. I usually
How many hours before?
so we played in I eat like a huge dinner. Like one dinner is
Like the night before?
yeah, a dinner is like huge. And then the day I was like drop the prize, I was just drinking Gatorades and Gatorades and Gatorades. Then for like when we have breakfast, I probably have like a little oatmeal or so. And then for lunch I have like a grilled piece of chicken.
Okay. So not like a ton of food, but like just a little to keep you going.
That's a little to keep me going.
Gotcha. The next one is, what is your go-to pump-up song before a game? Unless you have like a certain artist that you listen to.
I've been listening. This is a dumb one. I've been listening to this song since I was like a kid before every game, and it's "Many Men" by 50 Cent. I don't know why. It's like my every since I can remember, it's in my like game time song.
Is it like, are you like a guy in the locker room that's like dancing around, having a good time? Or are you like locked in, like sitting in the locker with the headphones on?
I have my moments, I have my moments. There's moments of me just all hyped up. It depends on who we're playing and the type of game it is. So it can be like I can be locked in at one point and then just bouncing around the next.
Amazing. And then this is the last one for you. Would you rather wear a suit or a sweatsuit?
Oh, it depends on the occasion because I look really good in suit just because you have so many options. But if I'm chilling, like my everyday life, I'm wearing a sweatsuit no matter.
Oh yeah.
Like every day, all day. Like never wear a pair of jeans unless I have to. I hate jeans. I just wear sweatpants or play basketball shorts all the time. I like wearing shorts.
I feel like no athlete enjoys wearing jeans, so I feel like that's about right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be interviewed by LRT Sports, and you're going to help a ton of high school athletes. So thank you so much, Jashon.
Yeah, no problem.